Hey, my long-awaited orchard has arrived. Almost. Some of it has. Stay tuned, we'll talk about this. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I'm really excited. I got some fruit trees. These fruit trees are potted, so they'll bear fruit this year, so I don't have to wait for 5 to 7 years for fruit from my trees. I'm still waiting for fruit from my apple tree I planted over in front of the greenhouse that I planted as a bare root 7 years ago. I hope to get apples this year. We'll see. We'll watch for blooms. This is a cherry tree I planted at the same time. I have been harvesting cherries off this. I've harvested 2 years of cherries, and this particular cherry tree grows 5 varieties of cherries. Now, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get fruit trees this year because we're really on a tight budget and we're working on getting debt paid off. But I came into some cash kind of unexpectedly yet expected. For those of you who have been following my show, you know that I've done some artwork lately. Yeah, got the pieces published, getting ready to do a gallery exhibition, but my pieces are selling before I can even get them into the gallery already. This is phenomenal. So it's from that revenue, which was unexpected, we didn't count on that revenue at all this year, that we're able to purchase the orchard. And I really want to get the orchard in. Over here, when I worked it out with the tractor and was moving some soil, this is the area where I decided to plant the orchard. It's in a contained area with the ducks and the geese, so they'll be able to take care of the slugs and snails and other bugs. And I just have to work out deer fencing to protect each tree. I have the big tall posts, so I'll figure that out. So in a future episode, when we get ready to plant the trees, I will be going into detail on how I plant them and what I'm planting them with, the extra nutrients. Yeah, there's some epic, interesting, fascinating things you could do as a farmer or a homesteader, or even living in the urban areas. Yeah, things you can take, steps you can take yourself. So let me share with you the variety of trees I have here. This is a Comey's pear. It is self-pollinating, and it will also cross-pollinate with a Bartlett. So I will be purchasing a Bartlett tree, a pear tree, and planting it with this one. So that's another tree. After I sell another couple pieces of art, we'll go ahead and purchase that other tree. And there's 2 more other trees I want to add to my orchard as well. Now these are full-size trees. These are not midgets or dwarfs or half dwarfs. These are going to be the full-size trees, so I need to make sure I get plenty of space between them. As I was reading, it's going to take about 35 feet around the tree that it needs to grow with some space to the other tree. Now this tree I'm really excited about, really excited. This is a Honeycrisp apple tree. This does need another tree to cross-pollinate with. My choices are Gala, Granny Smith, Macintosh, or Red Delicious. Hard to decide which one. Very hard. I have my eye on a Red Delicious, but depending on how well the art goes, I may end up buying an additional 2, so I'll have 4 apple trees, including my apple tree on the other side of the greenhouse. Now this tree right here is an Alberta Peach tree. These are really good cold climate tolerant pears. I believe these are the kind of peach trees that actually grow in Canada. Yes, they have peach trees in Canada. So I'm looking forward to growing this Alberta Peach. And canned peaches, nothing compares. Oh, I can make canned jam. I can make peach syrup. I just rendered some blackberry honey sweetened syrup in the kitchen just a little bit ago. Now this tree back here is a Santa Rosa plum. Really good plums. My grandmother used to can plums. I remember her canning the plums, seed and all. She just took the skin off and she would can them in the jars. And I remember going and visiting my grandmother, and we would break open a jar of her canned plums. Of all the canned goods my grandmother had, the canned plums were the ones I was looking forward to. We would just pour a little bit of cream over them in a bowl, and for dessert, we looked forward just something simple. Yes, canned plums. Now these also are self-pollinating. Now I've been also researching nut variety of trees. So I've decided on almond and filbert. Those are two trees that I'll be adding. And then I'll most likely plant those in the front yard as part of the landscape for the front. And then I probably will run out of room. So I've got plum, cherry. I'll be getting a different variety of cherry also. I'll be planting some Bing cherries and another variety of cherry. And then this cherry tree actually has Bing, Rainier, Sweetheart, Lapins, and Benton. But I am getting a Bing cherry tree by itself and a Rainier cherry tree by itself. In addition to this one, I actually have to dig this one up and move it, because when I planted it here, this was going to be my orchard, but when Discovery Channel came over and decided to build the greenhouse, they built it right in the middle of my would-be orchard. It is too close to this tree, so I'm going to have to dig it up and move it. And I'm going to wrap the bottoms. We're going to paint them with that trunk bark safe paint that you can get down in your hardware store or garden store. So we're going to do all kinds of things with the orchard, and I'll share that with you as I learn that when I produce those shows. So stay tuned for those. I'm Jerry Hansen, your host, a very excited homesteader, collecting my orchard finally. And I think this, I won't need to do anything else after this for the homestead, except for a couple of major building projects I have planned on the shelf, but they can't happen this year. Please subscribe, click that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Also, clicking that share button, sharing my videos on your social media platforms helps the channel out a lot. Another thing you can do for me is give us a thumbs up, like the channel, and leave a comment or some tips I may need to know when I begin to dig my holes and plant these trees. I already know the nutrients I'm adding to the ground with the trees, so I'll share those with you in the future. But if you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know. Hey, this community, we learn from each other. After all, I've been calling this the University of YouTube, and I notice other people are picking up on it. That's okay, because it really is a learning experience. Be safe, and please always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next videos, okay? Bye-bye.